Hey YouTubers, good morning. Hope you're all doing well. Just thought I'd make a video of my wiring setup from the panels to the charge controller and batteries. Got 7 24 volt 105 watts panels. There are two sets, two 24 volts that connected together parallel to be 48 volts. But I get about 86 volts out of them. And I grounded them together and to the power line ground wire. The power goes through that junction box into the house through the roof. They're 12 gauge wires from panels to the junction box, and there's an 8x3 cable bringing the power inside. It's a nice day. We got some high clouds here and there, but it's working. Hey doggy, I got about 600 watts of panels on this side. They're all 12 volts, 105 watts, and I brought the 6x4 or 4x6 cable. It's a marine cable to that junction box. Sorry for the noise. The dryer is working. They're the cables bringing the power to the inverter. It's a 600 watts inverter. I used to have two of them. I took the other one out and connected all the panels, all 600, to this one. Right now it's making about 300 watts. It'll go up to 400, 420. At 122, 123 volts. About 2 3/4 amps. 300 watts. So far we made half a kilowatt. That's 500 watts. Oh, it jumped to 3. Right now the washer and the dryer both are running off of the inverter. I'll show you the inverter wiring. $500 watts power draw. 119 volts, 4.2 amps. $830 watts. See, I installed the two 1400 amps batteries here. And wired all the cables to my battery system. As I was saying, the power from the I'll try to get a good light on it. Okay. Right there, that's where the power comes in through the 8x3 cable and comes down through there to my breakout box, and then two of them, two cables bringing the power, the positive and negative, to the charge controller, where right now we're getting about 58. Let's see if I have a better one. Getting about 58 volts coming in, 8.5, 8.6 amps, putting out 12.9. That's the battery voltage actually, and getting 32.5 amps out. It's pretty warm, making power. I hope you can see that. Anyways, from the charge controller I have 6-gauge cable bringing power to the breaker, and the negative from the charge controller goes to the battery right here. This is the breaker for the charge controller, and this is the breaker for the power that goes in the house. So for any electrical except the inverter. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shut the power, and you see that everything is off. I'm going to power it back on. Here's I wired my inverter. Let me get some more lights here. Okay. This is the positive of the inverter input. Comes to this blade switch. About 200 amps. I couldn't find a 300 amp, and then goes through this ANL fuse. This is a 300 amp fuse, and then through that cable goes to positive of the inverter, negative of the inverter right there to that battery terminal. So if I needed to work on the inverter or do some service on it, I can quickly disconnect the positive side of the input and work on the inverter. The other thing I added was this cigarette lighter adapter that has the safety caps on them, and I have this USB adapter to charge any USB device that I may use over here, like the cell phones or my battery chargers. charge the batteries on them. Here, I can hook it up here. This is what came with the charger. I plug it in, and the other end goes to. It came on, and the fan is running. I just charged this one that goes into my daily carrying with me flashlight. See how it charged. I got about 10-15 flashlights all over, different size of batteries, but some of them use the AA batteries. A couple of them have a AAA. They're all string light flashlights. It's one AA battery. Got 3 functions: strobe and dim, and then bright. Very reliable, very sturdy, and yet small. You can see that it's charging the batteries, and the fan on it is running. Well, the other stuff that I got, I haven't put on service yet, is these light sensors. They're like, for 2 of them, like $7-8. I haven't tested them yet, so one of these days I'm gonna connect them to those lights and be on the side of the driveway. It will come off and on both sides of the house in dusk and down. You can see I've been using my coffee maker to make coffee in the morning with the inverter. And also I'm charging those flashlights there. Now we have 12.8 volts. That's the battery bank. About 12.9 over there. The charge controller. That's pretty close. Let's see how much it takes to run the washer and dryer. Here, this is a DC clamp meter. We have AC amps. 6. The element just went off. But 4 1/4 amps AC. That's the power that the washing machine is running. Now I'm gonna check the positive side of the battery cable that feeds the inverter. See how much power. It's drawing about 25 amps. DC. To make 4 1/4. the element. We're getting 7 amps AC, and he's drawing about, element went off. It was about 64 amps direct current. Check the power coming out of the charge controller. Shows about 33 amps coming out. Shows about the same over here. Okay, the power that comes from the roof, from the panels, this is the ground that comes from the pole and the panels. Grounds connected through this wire, goes to the charge controller and the breaker box, also to the inverter. This is the positive. You can see how thick these cables are. 8 gauge, but they're a fine strand. That brings the positive and the negative power to the charge controller. I use the same cable to feed the house. That's the power that feeds the 12-volt supply of the house. That comes down to the breaker box here, and I can control the power by this breaker here. The power from the batteries comes through this cable, goes through the amp shunt. This is the amp meter reading wires that go to that display. And then the power from the batteries and the shunt from this device. What this does, this monitors the voltage, and if the voltage drops below 11.5 volts, will shut down the power, and it will reconnect once the voltage gets to 12.5, and it reconnects the power. So you want to, this is a device I got from a truck yard, so you won't drain or damage all the batteries, so the trucks won't start. So you use the same principle. So if the voltage goes too down, you'll shut down the power to the house. So never happened. Got plenty of batteries here to use. And plus on a cloudy week, I can connect my either car alternator to the batteries to charge them up, or my battery charger to charge the battery up. But it's a good, it's about 50 amps. I don't have anything over 10 amps when all the electricity is being used, the DC electricity, so it'll last longer. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna show you the sweeping of the MPPT controller, the power that is coming in and the power that is being adjusted by the charge controller and so on. So let me connect my voltmeter and I'll get back to you. Okay, here we go. The power coming in from the solar panels is about 57 volts. It's adjusted by the controller. You can see it on the top left, about 57. And it draws about 8.5 amps on the top right and converts it to below to 32.2 amps. About 410 watts, 0.5 kilowatt hour. Okay. About 32 amps on the positive side of the charge controller feeding the batteries at 12.9 volts battery back. What I'm going to do, I'm going to shut down the power coming to the charge controller, and you see the difference of the voltage. I'm going to shut it down. Just observe the voltage on the voltmeter. About 76.5 volts coming in, but that's the open voltage, no load on the panels. Okay, shut the controller off.
How's it doing, baby?
It's fine. How you doing? Just gonna check the load. Okay. This inverter is load controlled, so just shut itself down. You have 0 going up. No amps coming in. I'm gonna turn the inverter on. Oh, hold on. I'll get the door, baby.
Thank you, sir.
You welcome. Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna turn the controller on. It's gonna do a quick self-test, and the fan will come on for a second, and then it'll start seeking for power. We have no voltage, no amps, just 1.4 amps. That's the capacitors in the charge controller discharging. See, that's snoozing now. I'm gonna turn the power back on the panels. We're at 76 volts. And now he's waking up. He's tracking, sweeping the volts. Went back to 32 amps. 53.2 volts. 53 volts coming in. Battery voltage 12.9. Now he's double tracking. $53. He's sweeping, going up and down on the voltage to get the best MPPT. Go. Are you gonna load the washer?
Yes, dear.
Okay, good. 32. And now the washer is running. Just want to see the load. How many amp is it going to draw for the 32? That's the amp coming into the battery bank. I'm going to connect it to the switch here. Right now the inverter is drawing about 2 amps. It's filling up the washing machine. Went up to 3.8 amp. Okay, there it goes. Go check this. Drawing 8, about 8 amps. 940 watts. About 40 amps from the batteries. And the fans are running. Take about 40 direct current amps to create 8 amps AC. Okay, we're at 12.9 volts. Oh, so 13, it's very close. But 33 amps coming to the batteries. 430 watts. And we're using 926 watts at 118 volts. That'll be 55, 57 is sweeping up and down the voltage. It's the same over here. And That's the draw from the inverter input cable. Here's that negative sign because I have it backwards, so it shows negative amps, but in reality that's how much it's drawing. But 40 amps direct current. Well, I hope you enjoyed this segment of the video, and please comment, ask questions, any additional info that I forget, just let me know. Thank you for watching, and happy Super Bowl, guys. Enjoy. Don't drink and drive. You may hit a bump and spill your drink. Adios.